Hi everyone and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Jacqueline.
And today we're going to start our 3-day story article for this month. It's about the book Wonder and it's going to start with somebody going to school for the first time. Now, I have to think back a very, very, very long way to my first day of school. And I can't remember it. Do you have any memories of yours?
Me either. It's been a long time.
Not quite as long as mine. I'm actually at the point now where I am thinking about my children's first days at school, not my own. My eldest has been to both like a daycare and kindergarten, so I make sure I'm there on that first day. I take it off work so I can go as well.
Just such a good dad.
Well, it's just kind of helping like two pairs of hands to do all the extra stuff, get everything ready.
Yeah.
Kids cry on their first day at school. That's pretty normal.
They cry? Okay.
Of course, yeah. Especially the daycare when it's like, Mummy and Daddy are leaving me here for the first time. So,
yeah.
When they're that age, it takes like 2 hours for them to calm down.
Wow.
Yeah, you just have to give them something fun to do and turn it into a game. But yeah, it's not an easy thing, that first day of all those strangers around you saying goodbye to people, and you can't wait until it ends. And that's going to be a little bit what it's like for the main character in our story today.
Yeah.
So let's read through day 1 and find out what's going on.
Reading.
Wonder. Your first day of school was likely scary. Of course, most kids experience it when they are 5 years old. August, Augie Pullman, however, is already 10. Augie was born with a rare facial deformity. His mom was teaching him at home because she wanted to protect him from bullies. Later, though, she decided to send him to Beecher Prep, a fancy private school. Arriving at Beecher Prep is a shock for Augie. Not only the students, but also some teachers react badly to his appearance. Worse still, a mean boy named Julian tells everyone that Augie has a disease called the plague. Anyone who touches him must wash their hands quickly or they will get sick. At first, Augie copes with this cruel game with the help of his 2 new friends. Both Summer and Jack seem like they'll support him through thick and thin. But later, Augie hears Jack making fun of his looks with Julian. It makes him feel really alone at Beecher Prep.
So hopefully some of you listeners can remember your first day of school. And as the article says, as we start, your first day of school was likely scary. Something that's scary is frightening. It makes you feel scared or afraid. You don't really like it. It'll make you have bad dreams about it. You'll be worried about it before it happens. You won't enjoy it in the moment. Maybe afterwards you'll look back and go, okay, it wasn't so bad. But right then, you are frightened. You want this thing to end. For example, we could say the movie was so scary that Josh had bad dreams after watching it.
所以 scary 它是形容一个东西很可怕，那我们是来自于 scare 这一个动词跟名词哦。所以如果你是讲形容词说你感到害怕，并不是说你很可怕这件事，我们就要说 scared。所以比如说 some people are scared of spiders。那有没有看到这个 be likely？ 我们第一个句子就是 was likely scary， 代表可能是可怕的。所以你也可以讲 be likely to do something， 代表可能会去干嘛。比如说 this decision is likely to upset a lot of people.
So the article goes on and says, of course, most kids experience it, their first day of school, when they are 5 years old. Yeah, that's 5, 6, or earlier if you're at kindergarten.
Yeah, 所以有些小孩其实5岁的时候就体验到。I remember I went to kindergarten at the age of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's about right.
I didn't really remember how it was.
The article then says, Augie Pullman, however, is already 10.
所以我们的文章中的主角出现咯，就是 Augie 这个人，他是10岁，他现在10岁。
Right, so why is he going to school so late? Well, we're getting the reason in sort of several parts here. We start off by learning that Augie was born with a rare facial deformity.
这个 rare 有没有看到 rare 就是很稀少的很少见的，那我们有看到 facial deformity 这两个字， facial 是脸部的意思，所以其实我们说脸部的保养，脸部的口罩，或甚至是我们的表情都是这个字哦。 So facial care, facial mask or facial expression 都是可以用这一个字。那这个字 deformity 指的就是身体上有畸形的部位的意思，所以奥吉出生的时候是患有罕见的面部畸形的。
Yeah, in fact, if in the book it never really describes it in detail, in the movie you don't actually see his face, so it's not important what kind of deformity he has, you just know that he looks really different, really, really different.
Yeah.
And because of this, we see his mom was teaching him at home because she wanted to protect him from bullies.
I feel him so badly. 所以 bully 这边指的是霸凌者，所以其实 Augie 的妈妈在家里教他是因为不想要让他去学校被霸凌哦。我们看到 protect A from B 就是保护 A 免受于 B 的攻击。
Yeah, that makes sense. You want to kind of protect your son. You know that other kids, especially sort of older kids, are going to be mean to somebody who looks a bit different, or in this case, looks really, really different. But if you keep your kid at home forever, they're going to miss out on a lot of the school experiences, friends. They won't really know how to sort of be around people in society as they grow up. So in the end, she doesn't continue teaching him at home. We see later, though, she decided to send him to Beecher Prep, a fancy private school. Now, this sentence contains today's language in focus, so let's learn more about it.
好，我们的 language and focus 呢，这边是非限定用法的同位语哦。那跟形容词子句一样哦，我们的同位语是有分限定跟非限定两种用法。那么非限定用法的时候呢，这个同位语是用来补充说明前面的先行词。那个同位语如果你去除，其实也不影响整句的句意。但是要注意一下哦，这个用法如果同位语置于句中的时候，它的前后我们是要加逗点，跟其他句子分开的。那我们来看一下一个句子哦。Let me introduce you to Jessie, who is 或者是 who is 我们省略掉 Jessie 后面要有一个逗号 The producer of my album 这个就是同位语的用法。
So off he goes to Beecher Prep, this fancy private school, so that means they're paying a bit of extra money for it. This isn't a normal government-run school, and maybe they hope that'll give him the kind of extra education, and the money should hopefully get some extra attention from the teachers to help with his face condition. But we see that arriving at Beecher Prep is a shock for Augie. The word shock is roughly the same in meaning to surprise, but it's probably bigger. Something is a surprise, but if something's a shock, it's like a really big surprise. Now, we often use this for a negative kind of surprise. You are shocked by the news. You are shocked when you see your credit card bill. That was a shock. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how much money I spent. That kind of thing. It's not always bad. You could say, oh, you know, Chiquilin was shocked when she won the singing competition. That was a shock to her. Or maybe it shouldn't be because she's a great singer. But you can use it for positive things, but more often than not, it's used for a negative experience. So, and as you can see from my examples, I've used it as both a noun and a verb. It's a shock. I was shocked. That's the adjective form. It shocked me. That's the verb. Here's it as a noun again. It was a shock to hear that Mark and Lisa are breaking up.
So maybe they had a really good relationship.
Right.
And then everybody was so shocked.
Yeah, couldn't believe it.
对，所以老师刚刚讲好清楚哦，大家应该有听到。那当名词的时候，就是我们可以用 in shock， 然后前面加一个 be 动词。那另外呢，刚刚老师也有提到的，就是形容词的部分 shocked or shocking。我们拿 shocking 就会拿来形容一件让你感到很惊慌的事情。
So the article continues, not only the students, but also some teachers react badly to his appearance. So he gets a shock from them, and it seems like they also get a shock from him, and they react badly. To react is to do something in response to something else. You hear something, you see something, something happens, and your reaction, which is the noun form, how you react, is what you do after this thing happens. For example, you might say, how did your parents react when you told them you don't want to go to college?
Maybe they were like, oh, don't go.
Yeah. Or they were like, no, you will go. You will get an education.
Usually, most parents would say that. So, react badly, 大家有没有看到这个 badly? 其实这个 badly 就是副词嘛，它是拿来修饰我们前面的 react. 那名词的部分就是 reaction. 所以比如说 What was Kenny's reaction when you told him about the news?
So we see they reacted badly to his appearance. Your appearance is the way you look. It's the way someone or anything looks. It's just what's on the surface. Obviously, we know that Augie has this facial deformity. He looks very different to normal, I don't want to say normal, but he looks very different to most people. So that's his appearance. He looks very different. You might say, for example, Betty spends a lot of time on her appearance, so she always looks her best.
那大家看到这个 appearance 它就是指外表，一个人的外在。那么有一个片语叫做 to make an appearance， 指的就是快速的露个面然后就离开这种感觉。所以比如说 the president will make an appearance at the mall， 代表很快速的到这个购物商场里面露个面然后就离开这样子。所以不仅学生还有一些老师对 Augie 的长相反应是不是很好的。
Yeah, they see him and maybe they take a backward step. They just go, oh my goodness, what happened? They say something that they shouldn't. They don't just like, oh, hey, new kid, hi, something like that. They react badly. And that's not the worst of it. We see in the article, worse still, a mean boy named Julian tells everyone that Augie has a disease called the plague. Now, we put this in inverted commas. There are many different types of plague. It is a kind of bacterial disease that has affected humankind a bunch of times over the last few thousand years. But just calling it the plague, that's not really the name for a disease. It's just a fake disease that this guy Julian has made up so he can kind of bully and make fun of Augie. And so he says, oh, that kid's got a disease. He's got the plague.
Oh my gosh, you sound so bratty.
Yeah, well, that's this kid. What do we mean by disease? It's an illness. It's a sickness. It could be a disease that's caused by a virus or a bacteria, or it could be a disease that happens when something goes wrong in your body and it stops working properly, it doesn't grow properly. Cancer is that kind of disease. You don't catch it from somebody else. It just happens when stuff in your body starts making more of it than it should. And there are all kinds of diseases that can be caused by all kinds of different things. For example, I have a disease that can be treated but not cured.
所以有没有看到 a mean boy named Julian 这一句？这个 mean 指的就是一个人很刻薄的、很卑鄙的，这是一个很不好的字所以很糟糕的是一个叫 Julian 的 baby 男孩就告诉大家说Augie 他生病了，而且他是一种 the plague。老师刚刚有讲，就是一种瘟疫的意思，就是说他有生病这样子。
And this is what he also tells people, which is even worse. He says, this is what Julian tells people, anyone who touches him must wash their hands quickly or they will get sick. Now, of course, this isn't true. Augie's facial deformity is what he was born with. It's not something you catch. But Julian is telling everyone, don't touch him. You'll get his disease. You'll end up looking like that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think it's just like my experience because all the kids back in school did this to me.
Why?
I don't know.
You look normal.
I know, but I'm still curious about why.
Kids are mean.
Yeah, they are
kids
just
are
mean
to
so
other kids.
I feel like Augie right now. 所以这个 Julian 就很坏，他就一直跟大家说，哎呦，碰到 Augie 就不行你要赶快洗手，不然你会生病。这边有没有看到一个 must？ 他就是一定要干嘛？那后面是要接原形动词，大家记得。
So what does Augie do about all of this? We see at first, Augie copes with this cruel game with the help of his 2 new friends. So that's good. It's not all the kids who are being mean to him. He does make some friends, and they sort of help him get through this difficult stuff. They help him cope.
cope 这边是指处理的意思。那我们会说 cope with， 有些人说 deal with 也可以。那比如说，there was no way you could have coped with that baby. Maybe the baby kept crying. 所以一开始的时候呢，Augie 他有2个新的朋友，然后他就度过了这个很艰难的时期。
So who are these new friends? The article says both Summer and Jack seem like they'll support him through thick and thin. So they're going to support him, or at least that's the way it seems. To support means to give someone help, to show someone they're not alone. Now, this could be physical support, like I will come with you and give you a hand. This could be practical support. You're moving house, okay, I'll help you pack. This could be mental support, saying like, hey, it's okay, don't worry, you've got friends, you're a normal kid, I'll be with you, don't worry, and so on. For example, we could say the players on the soccer team must always support each other or they'll lose games.
So support 这边是文章中是动词哦，不过名词也可以，就是代表别人给你的支持。那么当形容词也可以，我们要变成 supportive， 那它就是有支持的、鼓励的意思。比如说 kids with supportive parents often do better at school than those without. 所以有父母支持的孩子，通常在学校的表现都会比没有父母支持的孩子还要来得好。
And they will support him through thick and thin. This idiom, through thick and thin, means no matter what happens, they'll support him in good times, in bad times, when things are hard, when things are easy. They will always be there.
所以 through thick and thin 这是算是一个谚语吧。那它意思就是说，在任何情况下，不顾艰难，不管遇到什么困难的意思。所以 Summer 跟 Jack 好像都会支持这个 Augie 哦。
So this is how it seems. But later, the article says, Augie hears Jack making fun of his looks with Julian.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Plot twist. 好，所以后来 Augie 居然聽到 Jack 在跟 Julian 一起取笑他的長相。那你們看到 make fun of 這個就是有一點就是取笑。那有時候我們也可以講 mock。
And we see it, or this incident, makes him feel really alone at Beecher Prep.
He's still got Summer.
I know, but what if if you just heard one of your friends making fun of you behind your back? That's like crushing. That's awful.
Yeah, it is.
And unfortunately, that's where we're going to leave day 1 of this story. And we'll kind of talk about that final incident in our For You chat question. So let's move on to that right now.
You chat.
So our chat question is, why do you think Jack said mean things about Augie?
Maybe I think Jack just wants to fit in.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's something called peer pressure.
同侪壓力
Which, and you might think, oh, it's only at school. No, it happens at school. It happens as you grow up, in offices, in groups of friends.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to do the things that other people are doing to get them to like you, to get their respect. And if you don't, they'll be like, oh, then you're stupid and we don't want to be friends with you and we'll kick you out of our group.
That's so sad, though.
I know. You always want to be part of the group. It's a human trait. So, yes, you're probably right. I don't think he's mean to Augie. Otherwise, why not be mean from the beginning?
Right.
Why not just do it from the start? He just probably thinks, oh, either Julian's kind of cool and I want him to like me, or if I don't also make fun of Augie, maybe Julian will, he'll start making fun of me, beat me up after school, all of that kind of stuff. People like Julian do have a lot of power if they've got a lot of friends. So, yeah, Jack just kind of wants to fit in and not get himself be the victim.
Yeah. But we should all stand up, actually.
Absolutely.
I hate how all the bullies have all the friends.
Yeah, it's just because they, they're confident or they seem confident and funny and that's sort of works for them.
Right.
What's going on inside them is a completely different thing. But that's a topic for another time. We're on our story and we've reached the end of part 1. But join us again tomorrow for part 2 and we'll find out what happens next in Wonder. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review
Scary. The movie was so scary. I covered my eyes and ears for the most part. Shock. It was a shock for Simon to discover that his car had been stolen. React. People reacted to the unfair new law by complaining on social media. Appearance. Ethan doesn't care much about his appearance, so he always wears the same old clothes. Disease. The disease spread quickly through the country, and soon all the hospitals were full. Support. Marie's parents support her decision to study abroad, and they'll be paying for her school fees.
智慧小补帖
Facial. Deformity. Bully. Cope.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net